My name is Sterling Tobias James. Pronouns are he, him, his. I identify as a gay male. My coming out was a little bit different, I think, than most people because I don't remember actually coming out. My mother actually asked me, and I came out when I was 22. And so that's 1976, so I've been out for 45 years. It was 8 years after the Stonewall riots, and everything was new, and we were all in our early 20s, and it was long before, like in the 70s, it was just, we were just trying to figure out our way. It was more about fashion and dressing, and so it was more about trying to make an image of yourself to stand out, but we really didn't know what we were doing. It was still exploring. What was happening still, even though there was the riots in Stonewall, there was a huge police presence, and police were still raiding the bars, and they were still raiding the bathhouses, even in Toronto back in the early 80s. And so the people that had money that were gay fought back, and it happened here in Vancouver, it happened in Toronto, and it happened in New York City, and they just said, "This," and we're going to start buying. And they would buy up whole streets, and then they would come, there was gay bars, multiple gay bars, multiple gay businesses. And we were all, again, young and in our early to mid-20s, and then all of a sudden, the AIDS decade started, and it wasn't called AIDS then. Sorry, getting a little emotional. And they called it the gay cancer, and none of it made any sense because nobody knew what was going on. We just knew people were dying, and dying really quickly. Within the next couple of years, my friends they caught HIV, they caught AIDS. And back then, the prognosis wasn't great. And people died really quickly. And by 87, I had lost three really close friends. In the 70s, there was joy and laughter and exploration, and then all of a sudden, the hammer fell, and it was the AIDS decade. And we had to figure out how to navigate through that. And I was terrified of catching AIDS, and I didn't get tested for years, even after I'd lost friends, because I was afraid that if I got tested, I would find out that I was positive with them, so I had to get tested. And you had to wait 10 days back then. And I was terrified. For those 10 days, I cannot express how fearful I was about the result. And so my doctor's office called me and said, "The doctor wants to see you." And I went, "Just tell me, what are the results?" And she said, "Well, he wants you to come in and he'll talk to you." And I said, "No, I want to know now." And she said, "Well, I can't tell you over the phone. He needs to see you." So I hung up the phone, and about 5 minutes later, I was a total wreck. And I called back and said, "No, you have to tell me now." And the doctor gets on the phone and he goes, "You are negative. What is your problem?" He said, "What I want to talk to you about is you only have one kidney." And I'm like, I can live with one kidney. And, but there's parts of it I didn't discover, and I wish I'd spent more time taking the time to really discovering the queer side of myself versus the workaholic side of myself. And so that is one of my passions, one of my things that I really enjoy, is connecting people to things that they're looking for. The advice I would give to young people is don't work as hard as I did. Really take the time to enjoy the things that you enjoy.